let's move on then to our interlude, Hidden Gems. So the folks that come on this show have been playing the format for a long time. We play cards that some players may have never heard of. We discuss one of those cards each week in our feature segment, Hidden Gems. Toby, what do you have this week?
So, people who have played me know I have a few peccadillos in the Commander world. One is I love making tokens. Another one is that I love playing with weird, obscure, unusual cards. And the third one is I love generating chaos and weird things that happen. So my card for Hidden Gems is a card from Odyssey called Cultural Exchange. It's a home run on many levels. First of all, it has amazing art. And it has an amazing title that would never fly in Magic today, I suspect.
Because?
It's a couple of bunny-like creatures sitting on top of a couple of alligator-like creatures. So it's got a level of whimsy that's unusual.
Right.
And the art's great. It's a Darren Bader piece. And the card itself essentially says, exchange any number of creatures you control for that many creatures somebody else controls. So, in all of my decks where I'm busy trying to make random 0/1 or 1/1 tokens, the number of decks I have with Carekeep or Springjack Pasture in them is not zero.
Right.
So I'll be generating these things, and of course everybody else is generating ridiculous giant monsters, and Cultural Exchange lets me trade them and get all their randomness. It goes into almost every deck I play that has blue in as one of the first cards. And it gets cut a large-ish number of times, but I'm always sad to do it, and I'm always happy when it stays in for a while and I get to play with it. So it's a card when it works, it's just so much fun to play with and such a cool card that I try to make it work wherever possible.
It's a sorcery.
It's a sorcery, yes.
And it costs what?
6. Blue, 4, I believe.
Blue, 4. Okay. Now, you also are fond of playing an enchantment that does something similar.
Oh, Puka's Mischief.
Puka's Mischief.
Oh, wow, yes, I forgot about Puka's Mischief. Yes, Puka's Mischief is a similar enchantment. It's blue and 3, and every turn you can exchange one of your things for something else with a lower converted mana cost.
Yeah.
And let's pause for a second. I gotta go look up Puka's Mischief, because there's also the one that is exchange the same type. And of course, Zedru had all of them.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's you exchange a non-land with your opponent, and yours has to be a higher mana cost. And of course, in decks like Zedru, where you're playing useless permanents that sometimes cost quite a bit, it's a wonderful card to let you trade off awful stuff for good stuff.
Well, and you don't have to be able to cast Donate in order to give them the delusions of mediocrity or whatever.
Oh yes, no, Zedru has many ways to. And I had a Zedru deck. Zedru is probably the deck I held on to for the longest. I loved it so much. It is in many ways. I think Zedru is one of the best designed Magic cards of all time. I like cards that. I don't care about power level. I like cards that make you recontextualize Magic. And Zedru is a card which makes you go, this changes how I think about what I'm putting in my deck and the sort of permanents I want to play. And cards that do that are fairly few and far between. And so I think Zedru is like a home run on many levels.
Yeah, I actually got killed by Zedru commander damage once.
Not by me, I don't think.
No. It was not long after it came out. It was one of those long games, and it was just me and the other player left. And I think we were both playing in top deck mode, right? So there was a lot of land and a lot of stuff, but not a lot of creatures. And he tack you, and then he drew Elspeth. And he's like, jump Zedru twice. There's 21. You're dead.
Oh, I remember that very memorable game down at Armada where I had Zedru and it was down to you and me, and I'd stolen Scott's a Johnny and ultimated it so I couldn't take more than 1 damage from a source. And you had to try to deck me. Because I had some ludicrous life and you were not getting there. But yeah, that was one of the more memorable games. But yeah, I like cards that move things around, which is a huge problem in the modern world because, of course, now we're streaming and cards going to other players is something when we build decks, we actually try to avoid just because of the difficulty of streaming that stuff.
Yeah, the real thing, I just started building a Brokos deck, and you're playing Sultai, and the first thing you think is, well, if I'm playing Sultai, I'm throwing a Villainous Wealth in here. And playing on stream, that's not going to work.
That's one of those cards that, you just don't want to resolve. It's like, okay, now what?
Right. Well, unless you want to play it to, like, mill the other player
Sure,
out.
But then there's better options.
V-Wealth you for 64 GGs. All right, the card that I'm picking goes back even further than yours. I am choosing Spoils of Evil. It's an Ice Age rare. Costs 2 and a black. It's an instant. And for each artifact or creature card in target opponent's graveyard, add a colorless mana and gain 1 life.
Spicy.
Now, graveyards are often very, very full in Commander. And you're playing black, so you've probably killed a bunch of things or had a bunch of other things die. So, this is better than Dark Ritual in a lot of cases because you're just going to get this pile 10, 12, 15, 20 mana because it's artifacts and creatures. And then also you're going to gain some life. So you've got a turbocharge into more turbocharging.
You also get to bring back the Avatar of Woe phase.
That's right.
Okay, everybody, how many creatures do you have in your graveyards? Right. And as a special bonus, it's got art by one of the greatest Magic artists of all time in Quentin Hoover.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace,
yes.
As a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
So, in Hidden Gems, we're going to keep going back and back and back. Hopefully, we'll find some cards for you that you've never seen before.